We are 95% done building the mega swale. It's 1,200 feet across the Chihuahuan Desert, and it is a critical piece in my mission to build a desert forest. You might think, well, it's kind of odd to announce that you're 95% done. Why not 100% done? Well, it's a good example of what it takes to build things out here. To give you guys a sense for the construction process and just how massive this thing is, I wanted to take you on a tour with Chris Kirby. He came out here in August when we were about 60% done. It gives you an idea of the scale and what it's like to be here as a visitor. Let's go take that tour, and at the end, I'm gonna show you how we're gonna double the catchment area from 5 to 11 acres. So it's very simple math. Instead of catching the 500,000 gallons that we caught this year, we could have had well over 1 million. But we're getting there. I've got the swales marked out now for this, and this is the lower one. And then we're gonna have the second one will end somewhere over there and dump right onto this swale.
Yeah, this one.
And then above that, the topography works out perfectly where we can capture water from the entire hilltop and stay on my property line and send the water from all parts of my property on this hill over to like literally right over there, and we'll catch 11 acres worth of water.
Yeah, just zigzagging it, trying to soak it in the ground as it's going.
By the time we finish these 3 swales, it'll run just shy of 1 mile. It's a lot of dirt. I'm pretty sure that coming in, I could see these earthworks from the county road, like in just the right spot for maybe 1 mile where I was sticking my phone out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I could see this and the dams over there. It's really nice just being able to walk over here.
Oh, yeah.
My wife's gonna marvel. Last time we went for a hike and it was an ordeal, and now it's just like, oh, let's just wander over there. It really is a road to nowhere. If it was a road, it's pretty useless. But for water, it's a win.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this is about where the second swale ought to dump into this one. I think it's this little ravine right here.
Yeah, and then what we'll need to do is build this up a lot.
Yeah.
Just because we don't know how much water is going to...
Correct. It needs to be like massively overdone and be able to accept the spilling and then slowly start.
And we need to, this is my opinion, but I think we need to cut in some and then put some massive rocks there.
Yeah.
That way it'll slow it before it comes in here and just decides to erode everything.
One of the projects will be to make the way with the dozer, but then to go pick rocks with the dump trailer and bring the dump trailer with the dozer up here and make a rock field. And that way there's something resembling a spillway. If only we could find some rocks.
Yeah. I do want to find some really massive rocks, but then I got to figure out how to get them to the...
Yeah.
Because the dozer it's only supposed to pick up about 500 pounds.
It's rated for 800.
Yeah, but some of the rocks that I found I think we need are way more than 800 pounds.
Yeah, you're not lifting them with the dozer blade. You can push them.
We could still continue with that storage area.
Yeah, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, and then it not be a major project.
I mean, it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, well, that's another story. This looks so cool. It's just, it gives you a sense of the scale for...
That third, okay, well, actually, if you count this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, that fourth Ocotillo, that's where the track adjuster went.
Oh.
I quit.
I like how it's almost like a living fence. It's gonna get knocked down because we gotta widen it, but...
I'm hoping to widen it by just taking from this side and then...
Yeah, pushing it down.
Pushing it that way, because I can use the dirt over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't hurt to take some of it and push it in here to make this just a little bit bigger for turning around.
Yeah.
And there's a wash that comes down here, which I don't know if you noticed, but I tried to keep the
bowl.
The bowl.
Yeah, I did notice.
Flush with it.
Yeah.
That way we can direct it.
Now I know you spent a ton of time here, and it shows.
But it's not just me. Like I was thinking through this, like, how is this water going to run?
Yeah.
And I wanted it to come into here and then spill out over here. I wanted it to kind of run this way, mainly so it's not just running straight out here and...
Yeah. This is
eroding everything.
This is the second riskiest spot on the swale.
Because we got 1, 2,
Yeah.
3 good-sized washes coming in here.
Yeah, this was the steepest ravine on this stretch.
I mean, I would have liked to make all of this the same height, but that wash, depending on how much water comes down there, could destroy everything if we don't do it right. So I was talking back and forth to my friend as hydrologist. So.
Yeah. Well, if you wind up buying that track loader, we'll there's no doubt we'll dig cave holes along this whole stretch. It's now January. We are so close to finishing. My plan for this trip is to get on the dozer, start working, get this thing at least 25 feet wide, preferably 30, and very critically, getting the right pitch so that we can finally wrap this up and expand the watershed. I haven't flown in a year. I can't say I'm thrilled to be back at the airport, but when I do fly, I want to at least look good and feel comfortable. And that's why I'm wearing Fabletics for today's flight. Right now I'm wearing the grid tech style in all black, and it is part of the new February collection. It's perfect for traveling in the winter because I feel like I'm wearing pajamas, but I still look respectable. It's breathable, it's moisture wicking, and it has the 4-way stretch, so however you need to jiggle around in the middle seat, you can get comfortable. The best way to get these is through the new VIP membership. If you're a new member to Fabletics VIP, you get 70 to 80% off of your first order. Just make sure that you use my link in the description. Once you're in, you get 50% off retail prices every day. What I appreciate most is the flexibility, because on the 1st and the 5th week of every month, you can choose to shop or you can skip and there's no extra cost. If you do choose to shop, your member credit can be redeemed for any item or bundle up to $100 in value. Make sure to use my link in the description to get the new February drops and save up to 80% off your first order when you join Fabletics VIP. I'm standing next to what we affectionately call the Three Amigos, and that is the end of the swale, but the sun's glaring so bright that, and because that side's already done, this is mostly done. I'm gonna have to show you without the sun washing everything out. What we're trying to build is a Nike swoosh. So here, and then it dips down, and then it comes up. And the reason for that is that we're gonna plant trees here and there. And the idea being that desert trees hate having wet feet. We want the crown of the trees above the lowest point of the swale. And next to the trees, we need to grow mulch. And for that, we're gonna grow a giant saccaton. Giant saccaton is an enormous biomass producer. I know a lot of people advocate for switchgrass, but the benefit of giant saccaton is that it's way more drought hardy, although the yield might be slightly less. I'd rather bet on long-term drought resistance than trying to get an extra 10% of biomass. Here in the middle, we're gonna grow alkali saccaton, but this is going to be an access path. So we want a grass that grows in the middle to keep the soil covered, but not so big that you can't drive a tractor or a bulldozer over it. Last month, I found a native patch of alkali saccaton, and I took a few moments to gather some seeds because I'm gonna need them. I would love to have a bunch grass like this on my ranch. So I'm just gonna get as many seeds as I can. So the stuff at the bottom, that is my haul. I had to stop because my legs are getting horribly itchy. One thing that does not qualify me well for this project is a terrible grass allergy, but I did want to show you guys one other thing. This native stand of alkali saccaton, I noticed all of these berries. See these yellow orbs? They're kind of growing all over the place. So I don't know what it is, but I figure if I'm going to establish this grass, this plant seems to go with it. So I've already grabbed some, but I'm going to grab a few more of these berries and just throw it in the mix. But you see the color change between here and here. It hasn't rained in 3 months. And look, that soil, it's got some water in it. It's got too much gravel for me to crumble. Maybe I can get away with it here. This looks softer. Get the big stuff out of here. See how it starts to kind of hold? I'm in the middle of the desert and I've got wet soil after 3 months and there's no vegetation covering it. It's gonna work. I know it's sanitary, like all of that really has composted, but I just can't get over it. So I'm gonna wear gloves just to make myself feel better. I will say I'm really glad that I'm wearing my my work boots. I don't see any hint of poop though. Everything looks totally good. It's been 2 years, it really ought to. As both Daniel and I work this section, we're still finding lots of wet soil. We haven't had a significant rain event, significant being more than a 1/4 inch since October 6th. It's now January 8th, and we're finding wet dirt. So it's not sopping wet, but there's clearly moisture being stored in this swale. Like I said earlier, we've stored 500,000 gallons of water this year, and that means the water is going to be available for the trees and the grasses that we will be establishing all along this thing. That moisture in the ground is the reservoir that's going to let me grow trees that are a lot more productive than I might otherwise be able to do. For example, the main thing I want to grow here is pistachios and yellowhorn, and that would not be possible without tons of irrigation. But because we are engineering a higher rainfall solution, instead of my 12 to 14 inches, these are going to be getting something more like 30 to 35 inches. That makes it possible for desert adapted but slightly thirstier trees to grow here. They still get the drought resilience. You still don't have to pour water all over the place to make it happen. And that helps me build the desert forest. And in the middle, we'll put all the usual candidates like Palo Verde and mesquite and everything that I'm doing over on the windbreak. Aside from some final grading, this is pretty much the final solution. I'm at the turnaround where we are at the full width. It's easily 25 feet wide and slightly less than 30. Just depends on where you measure from and how you want to decide, is this the line or is this the line? But we can safely get tree seeds out of the low water spots. There's enough room for vehicles and even a trailer to get through here. And this is the end, which looks a little goofy, but eventually we got to be able to get to the top of the hill. How are we going to do that without tearing everything up? Well, we have two problems. We need 2 more sets of swales above this to funnel all the water right to this spot. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to have a water channel that's not quite as steep, and we'll have a tiny little road that wanders all the way up here, just so we can get access without having to worry about drainage so much. I'm really excited to show you the second set of swales because it's going to make it a lot more obvious how we can double the catchment area. And that is this site right here. So I'm sure this is underwhelming because you don't know what you're looking at. But you see that the top of the hill there, and then the top of this hill here, and all this space in the middle. Well, right now, that saddle between the 2 hills right there, whatever lands over here flows entirely off my property and down into a completely different watershed. That doesn't do me any good. So I want to take all of the water available to me, and we're going to build swales basically right up to the property line. And we're going to build the swales all the way from about there, and it'll flow along this ridge line all the way over to here, and then we'll be able to go up to the edge and dump it down safely without causing too much erosion. We'll have to build a splash pad, and that is how we're going to double the amount of water available here. And the fact that we're doing on a giant clay pocket is what makes it extra, not clever, it just makes it a better opportunity. The clay was here. We're just responding to the landscape. This is what a properly tensioned bulldozer track should look like. This is what the driver's side looks like. You don't have to be an expert in bulldozers or any kind of equipment to realize that's not good. And the reason is we knew that this was about to break. The yoke and all of these parts on the undercarriage are severely worn. We knew this day was coming. Daniel was an hour into his shift when that thing gave up. Luckily, we knew this day was coming, and because we've already replaced the undercarriage on the passenger side, we knew we were going to have to do this winter. Now our hand has been forced, but look at this. All of the parts we need for the entire undercarriage, the yoke, the chain, the sprocket, all of it's already here. The only parts that we're waiting on are the bolts for the track pads, and that's the absolute last step. They'll be here well before we're done. So we're gonna have to spend probably 2 weeks pulling this thing apart, getting it back together. But once we do, the bulldozer is just that much better and stronger. Our intervals running the bulldozer between breakdowns or required maintenance is just getting better and better over time, which is unusual for equipment, but because Daniel has put so much effort into learning this machine and about bulldozing in general, he's a big part of the reason that the mega swale is happening in the first place, because without the equipment, it's not happening. It is Thursday, February 12th, and I don't think this looks all that different to most people, but notice all the parts on the bottom have paint. We are 95% done. We're on the absolute last step, which is putting the track pads on. And all we have to do now is essentially back the bulldozer up and then put the pads along the bottom. It's about a day of work, and then the dozer is back in action. I really wish I didn't have to publish on such a long delay, but because I film so much, it takes a long time to go through the footage to edit and organize and then figure out what story I'm going to tell. So in order to help you stay more involved with what is going on at Dustups in real time, I have a free part of Team Dustups that I've built. It's essentially a Facebook clone. I got so frustrated with just all the garbage on Facebook. So if you want to go talk about Dustups and not have to deal with politics and random opinions or anything that doesn't relate to this type of project, Team Dustups has the discussion. You get to meet a lot of cool people from all over the world. It's really fun, and I hope you will join us. The link's in the description, or you can scan the QR code on the screen to go join. And again, free. If you enjoyed this episode about the mega swale, you'll enjoy this one. I drowned plants in a desert.